They're one of my favorite animals, and they are hard to see, which does help them live up to their nickname. The bongos are called the ghosts of the forest because they are very rarely seen and they're very quiet when maneuvering through the brush. Now to your right-hand side, there is an okapi on the hill. Looks like he's, oh, there he is. Now, the first thing people usually notice about the okapi are their striped legs. Now I know those stripes may seem a little zebra-ish, however the okapi is no relation. In fact, the okapi is the only living relative to the giraffe. They're very distant relatives, of course, so they don't look a whole lot alike, but they have a very similar facial structure, as well as the same very long tongue, which can reach over a foot in length. Making them one of the few animals that can lick their own forehead. Coming up here to your left-hand side, there is a black rhino resting in the shade.
Oh, there it is. Right there.
You see his ours.
Yeah.
There is a lovely view of his backside. Now, unfortunately, folks, there are less than 5,000 black rhinos left in the entire world, including captivity. They have no natural predators. This decline is caused by humans, mostly between deforestation and poaching. Now, they are heavily poached for their horns, which are commonly believed to have a medicinal value. However, their horns are made up of the same keratin found in our own hair and fingernails. To your right-hand side, those lighter tan antelopes, those are called the greater kudu. The greater kudu are one of the tallest of the antelopes, reaching over 5 feet tall at the shoulders. That one up there is a female, and she doesn't have the same 6-foot-long spiraling horns that the male counterpart has. Now we are going to make our way into the Safi River next. Now the Safi River is home to animals like the Nile crocodile and the hippopotamus. I'm always excited to see hippos, while crocodiles not always quite so much, but no worries, folks. We are nice and high up in this truck, so those crocodiles shouldn't be able to get to us. Now we are going to check out two sides of the river today. We'll start out on the right, then we'll wrap around to the left. But keep your eye out towards the surface of the water. Look for any bubbles or snouts sticking up. Let's see. Looks like there are 2 hippos down there. They're a little tough to see. Please make sure to stay seated if you cannot see them, folks. We are going to check out the other side in a moment. Now, the hippopotamus can hold their breath for around 8 minutes at a time. Please put your child down, sir. Thank you. They have to stay fully seated at all times. Now, although they can swim, they do prefer just to walk along the bottom of the river. Take a look up here to your left. That'll help them conserve energy since they do spend most of the day eating and sleeping, which can be exhausting, as you can imagine. Now, when you do have a group of hippopotamus together, it's called a bloat. So that is a bloat of hippos. There's a few animals with very interesting group names. I'll be sure to let you know them as we pass them. Now, those gray and white birds up there, those are the pink-backed pelicans. Now, the pink-backed pelicans are the smallest of the 7 pelican species, and their back feathers will turn a lovely shade of pink just around mating season. It's not quite that time of the year just yet, so they are still gray and white. They do turn pink generally around May.
There's Will.
Now we are going to proceed with caution over the crocodile bridge to make sure everyone stays fully and completely seated for your safety. It is an older bridge, and if you do take a look, you'll notice a few Nile crocodiles in the water and up on the deck. Now a lot of people have a hard time telling the difference between Nile crocodiles like these and the American alligators. Other than their size, look at their mouths. Crocodiles have a pointed snout with lots of protruding snaggle teeth. One alligator will have a much more rounded snout. However, my friends, if you do ever find yourself in the wild and you aren't close enough to be able to tell the difference, then you may be a tad too close to that animal, folks. And I would suggest getting to safety as soon as possible, as they are much faster than they live. In fact, an average crocodile can run around 10 miles an hour, and that's on land. So I don't know about you, but they can definitely outrun me. Now we are about to enter the savannah, but first take a look up here to your right-hand side at this lovely tree. This is called the baobab tree. The baobab tree is nicknamed the upside down tree, for if you take a look, it looks a little bit like someone flipped a tree right over, but that's not quite the case. Now the baobab tree is also called the tree of life because of its ability to retain water in its massive trunk. To help it do that, that tree only has leaves for about 3 months out of the year, but it must be doing something right considering those trees can live to be several thousand years old. So whatever they're doing a great job. Now here we are in the savannah. Right away you'll notice a lovely giraffe. Now right now is a wonderful time to be visiting the reserve because over the past 11 months there have been not 1, not 2, but 5 baby giraffes born right here on the reserve. So we are going to keep an eye out for those smaller giraffes wandering around. Now no 2 giraffes are exactly alike. Each pattern is as unique as a human fingerprint. So you'll never see 2 with the same pattern. Coming up here to your right hand side, there's a few more giraffes. There's also some very large horned creatures down there. Those are the Ankoli cattle.
You okay?
They're also known as Watusi cattle, named after the Watusi tribe, which was the first to domesticate them. Now their horns can reach anywhere between 3 and 6 feet in length, and each horn can weigh around 10 pounds. But their horns are made up of a honeycomb structure that will circulate their blood and regulate their body temperature. Kind of like having a built-in cooling system, wouldn't that be nice? In some societies, the Ankoli cattle are used as a symbol of wealth. However, you can't really put cattle in a bank, so instead they are displayed on properties, and the more cattle someone has and the bigger their horns, the wealthier that person is perceived to be. To your left-hand side, these are African wild dogs. They're also known as painted dogs because of their lovely fur coat. Now they are part of the canine family, but they're not quite like our domesticated canine friends we have back at home. Not only are they extremely intelligent, but they're the most successful predators in Africa, mostly due to their group hunting tactics. They don't bark like other canines, instead they squeak. Sounds a little bit like a rubber duck. Not at all what you would expect from such a feared predator. Out here to your left-hand side, those are the sable antelopes. Sable antelopes are our icon here on the reserve. Just about anything with their name on it will also be complemented by their beautiful silhouette. Now if you look just past them, folks, there's a very large antelope back there. Very impressive. That is a Patterson's eland. Now the female Patterson's eland will generally only be around 800 pounds, but that one back there is a male and he easily weighs over 2,000 pounds. And he can leap around 5 feet in the air. Yeah, yes. I know, that's why they're my favorite. To help them do that, they have to have very powerful legs, so their tendons are coiled so tightly down their legs, it results in a very distinct clicking sound when they walk. You can almost always tell when they're nearby. Looks like there is a baby giraffe coming up here on the left. So she's only about 6 months old. Yeah, isn't she cute?
She's so cute.
Now when a giraffe is first born, its birth height is about 6 feet tall. Yep, kind of got a head start in the height category. It only takes a giraffe about an hour after it's born to figure out how to walk. Once that newborn giraffe figures out how to walk,